there are times where also you have to look at the reputation of the company. Yes, because we also don't want a situation where Nihala is being held by the pants.
being dragged out of the office or by the braids. Braids inavutwa.
Wondering, okay.
Kurendaje?
Yeah, probably it's a discussion that can be held amicably.
Yeah.
Yes, so in Kenya, official data should be retained for at least 7 years after you have finished that in whatever engagement you had.
Purpose.
Yes. So if it was, for example, for recruitment, then you'd have to archive that data. If someone hadn't told you that you can keep their data for like revolving their CV for future roles, then now you'd have to archive that data and delete it after your data retention period as per your company policy. So we've gotten the job.
We're now being onboarded.
Yes.
New employees. Sorry.
Okay. So onboarding is very different, very interesting because that is where the HR collects a lot of your personal and sensitive information.
Uko na diabetes? Uko na hypertension?
Yes.
Uko na watoto?
I think that's normally the very not fun part of going to a new job. You sign so many documents. You're like,
Hi guys, welcome to the rundown. My name is Mihala Barasa.
And I'm Danunz Yuko.
Do you want to introduce the topic first today?
So today we'll be talking about data privacy in the workplace. We'll be looking at what are your rights as an employee and what you should not be doing also as an employee, okay? We'll also be touching on what your HR should be doing to protect your data.
Or should not be doing.
Okay? So in case you've never shared our channel with your HR, please.
This is the time. Wakati ni sasa.
Yes.
We'll also be looking at your marketing teams.
Uh-huh.
Those ones that walk around with TikTok sounds ready to record you.
That's
what they should.
The ones who walk around with a camera around their neck the whole day.
Or should not be doing.
Yes. Oh, Ama, their social media girlies have iPhones.
Yes, nowadays they have iPhones. They have like nice iPhones.
Nice iPhones. Tufanye career change. Do hata si tupewe. We're given iPhones by the company.
Think big. Think big.
No. Most aren't an official car. G-Wagon. Thanks.
Now you're talking. HR wenda nuwa.
I was joking by the way.
I'm the one asking for a friend, quite literally.
Anyway, thank you. Thank you very much for being on our channel today. Please remember to subscribe if you have not yet subscribed. And I hope you saw in our last episode the cutaways for our new location. We are in very nice suites. They're called the 4-Ways Suites. Around Kiambu Road. You can't miss them. When you just take the turning for 4-Ways Junction, they're right there. Okay? So please remember to also visit their page. We'll put a link for their website. You can be able to book your stay. If you want a staycation, moms, when you want to run away from the husband and children. Yeah. Lovely place.
Girlies, when you want a quiet location.
Yes.
It's actually really quiet.
Yes. When you want to have your girls' night and just want to chat, don't want to go somewhere noisy where people will listen to your tea. Just come, book a room, have fun, chat, talk, have your meals. Yeah.
And your juice.
Yes. Very nice place, guys. Very comfy, okay? And clean.
It's actually really clean.
Yes. Okay. So thank you, guys. We'll dive right into the episode. Okay. Nihala?
Good. I like this episode because it's an intersection of two of our favorite things, employment law and data privacy. Ndanu doesn't even have notes today. She's not even brought notes.
I'm telling you, just
That's how you know this S is going to be good. Even though unajua. Anyway, what does data privacy in the workplace mean to you?
okay. That's interesting. So data privacy in the workplace. As I mentioned when I was introducing the episode, it's like double-edged, okay? So data privacy in the workplace, it's number one, you as an employee, you're a data subject, okay? How does the company take care of your of your personal information, your personal and sensitive information? Then also you as an individual, how do you protect the data of customers, vendors, any people that you work with when you're working with that company? Colleagues, yes. How do you protect their personal and sensitive information? So you have to look at it both ways. It's not just about you as the employee. You also have to remember that you're working with other individuals, okay? So whether internally, externally, you also need to understand data protection laws and regulations so that you ensure that you don't violate them. Because if in the event you violate them, your employer will be like,
Ogopa! Okay. Probably not Ogopa.
yes, but of course you'll be
They'll distance themselves.
Yeah, they'll be like,
or they'll sue you.
Yes. After they've paid ODPC, the fine they're supposed to pay, they'll be like, and you?
Termination, pa.
Yes.
Gross misconduct.
Exactly. Actually, it can fall under gross misconduct. Yes. Yeah, so that's what I'd say. It's both ways. You as the employee and as the employee as a data subject, and also you as an agent of the company or someone who has been contracted by the company. How do you safeguard the data that the company holds?
There's something I've heard you talk about. You said personal information and sensitive information.
Yes.
Could you differentiate those two things for us?
Okay. So you can have personal information that's not sensitive information. So personal information is any information that can identify you as an individual. So that's your name, your physical address, your phone number, because nowadays our phone numbers are linked to our IDs, your ID number, your KRA PIN, all that is your personal information. So anything that can be used to trace back to you, Mihala, as an individual, that is personal information. Now, sensitive information now is still personal information, but now has been classified by the Data Protection Act as sensitive. So examples of sensitive information is financial data, health data. So that can be classified as sensitive data. So information about how much you earn, your debt. So let's say, for example, you have a loan. It shouldn't be all over social media. Hey, Mihala's mortgage. Mihala has a mortgage.
2 million.
Yeah. That shouldn't be information that should be readily available out there. Okay. So that's why even you find different data processors like banks and credit rating bureaus have data processing agreements. Yes. So you'll find maybe when you go to a new employer, they'll ask you for an updated CRB certificate. But if you've noticed nowadays, that CRB certificate doesn't have a lot of information. It will just say Grace's credit good standing. Basically, they'll just say
Or they don't attach a score or anything.
No, they don't. Okay. There are some that may attach a score depending on what you've asked for. But most times it's just to say if you have any debts, they're in good standing. Yes. So they won't go into the details of how much debt you have.
And I kind of feel like a while back it used to be like that.
Yes.
And people would like, we were free to send demand letters to your employer to be like, farm.
Yes. Although auctioneers still threaten people. So one of the things, like now from a risk manager's perspective, is whenever you're training your receptionists, or your administrative assistants, your front office staff, let's just call them front office staff, make sure they know how to tell people apart. They can tell apart a customer, an auctioneer, a DCI person, because let me tell you, auctioneers can embarrass you.
They can. They can.
So in the event that they see, sorry to digress, but in case they see someone who looks like this looks like an auctioneer, and maybe I've come to the office. I'm like, hi, I've come to see your head of legal. I'd like to see Mihala. And you're looking, you're like, hi, this doesn't look like the normal people who come to see. So maybe before you inform Mihala that there's someone who has come to see them, you can also inform maybe a senior manager. Yes, like maybe depending on the structure of the organization, and say there looks like there might be some trouble. So, and of course, I know maybe the staff might feel embarrassed, but also in such cases, maybe I've also just gone deep into the conversation, but in such cases, there are times where also you have to look at the reputation of the company. Yes, because we also don't want a situation where Mihala is being held by the pants.
being dragged out of the office, or by the braids. Braids inavutwa.
Okay, wondering, okay.
Kurendaje?
Yeah, probably it's a discussion that can be held amicably.
Yeah.
And the company, the senior manager or the HR can say, okay, so how much debt does she have? Okay, we'll deduct her this much.
This much, yeah. We'll give you a plan.
Yes, we'll give you a plan, or let her sign here that she's going to pay you.
Yeah.
So to avoid embarrassment for the company. So that's why I'm saying it's two ways.
It's a double-edged sword.
It's a double-edged sword, because when you're an employee of an organization, you also have to look at the reputation of that organization so that you don't go spoiling it. Yeah.
Okay. I like that, because the way most of the time, the way we approach, and again, we are taking a tangent here, the way we approach employment is employer has to do for me.
Yes.
You have to, unafaa kunifanyia 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We don't look at it from the perspective that this is someone else's company, and they're trying to protect it as well. And that's why at the end of the day, we're usually saying, HR are so bad, they're so bad. Granted, HRs are not the most friendly and pleasant.
Yeah.
But again,
I think they've improved.
Senior?
Over the years.
Right? Ama it's because we are involved with HR.
Maybe because our jobs require us
to intersect. Because my interactions with HR are pretty decent.
Yeah, okay.
I hope our HR is watching this. Our interactions with HR are pretty.
Actually, my head of HR is a subscriber.
Sylvia, are you a subscriber? But I think Sylvia is a subscriber.
When we drop an episode, she's only that, like, I liked your outfit for.
That's a good head of HR. The rundown, what's her name? Let's not mention her name.
Let's not mention her name.
The rundown thanks you.
Yes.
The rundown thanks you.
Yeah.
My HR people, this is, in fact, I'm going to send this to our group HR, to our group chat with HR. Yeah. Have you guys subscribed?
Yeah. But I think it's also good if your HR is also supporting you, because, today we've digressed, but I normally tell people one of the ways in which you can increase your satisfaction with your day job is if you have other things that are fulfilling you, and you're not, because sometimes you find someone is like, oh, because of course we all don't end up doing what we studied in uni. And I find that is normally one of the biggest challenges, especially when young people get into employment. Someone is like, oh, I have a law degree, I have a degree in economics, I have a degree in what, and I'm doing customer service. And I'm always asking, when you leave the office at 5, what do you do? Like, what else do you do? You get, because you find, like, if you're doing other things, you have a hobby, you have things like the way you're into bodybuilding. Even if your day job sucked, I know you really love your day job.
I really do, man. I really do.
But even if your day job sucked, you have something to look forward to at the end of the day. So you'll be doing your contracts, doing things, reviewing your documents very fast, because you're like,
nikitoka hapa ni squat 100 kg.
You're good and happy, yeah. So probably I'm happy when we have HRs that are supporting our extracurricular activities.
I have a few managers that I know watch our channel.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm not sure about Sylvia, but Sylvia should be a subscriber. Sylvia, I'm calling you by name. You should be a subscriber, by the way. Now, thank you. In fact, Evanso, make this like a short clip for me. I go and tell her, Sylvia, you have subscribed to our channel. And she has to come here and talk to us about performance. She's a lovely young lady.
Okay, that's nice.
Anyway, we digress. We digress.
Okay. So we said, so maybe we can look at it from a HR perspective. So let's say you're a head of HR. What are the controls that you should put in place when it comes to data protection. So number one, you need to look at your onboarding processes, okay? So look at your application process. Does it allow for consent? Because one of the things that the Data Protection Act requires is that there needs to be informed consent. Okay? So you're not having people applying for jobs without knowing that they've applied for a job. Okay? So even if you don't have that place for ticking to say, I consent to X company processing my data, let people be aware of what they are doing. Okay? So that you have a legal basis. So if it's an application form or an application, it's very clear. Application for X role, okay? So that you have a legal basis. So this person gave us our data for this reason.
For this role, like what is that thing? What is it called in data protection terms?
It's called purpose limitation.
Purpose limitation, yes.
Yeah. So one of the, that's actually a principle of data protection, purpose limitation. So what is the purpose that you're collecting that data for, okay? So you have to be very clear that the reason why I'm collecting this data is for this reason. And even that's why you'll find maybe you applied for maybe head of legal. Then we get an opening for company secretarial services. So one of the things you'll find is when a HR calls you, they'll be like, hi, Mihala, my name is so-and-so from X company. We got your CV when you applied for head of legal job, but at the time, we got a better fit for that role. Now we have an opening for
company secretary.
And we feel that
you might be the right fit for the job.
Yes. Now you see, they'll have to explain where they got their information from for this particular role. And that's why you find a lot of companies will ask you to tick whether they can maintain your data for future roles.
References.
Yes. So if you do not have that mechanism for asking people whether you can retain their data for future roles, then your system should have a means to forget the information.
To delete and
yes, or archive it. Yeah. So because we also have laws around data retention. Yes. So in Kenya, official data should be retained for at least 7 years after you have finished that in whatever engagement you had.
Purpose.
Yes. So if it was, for example, for recruitment, then you'd have to archive that data. If someone hadn't told you that you can keep their data for like revolving their CV for future roles, then now you'd have to archive that data and delete it after your data retention period as per your company policy, which should comply with the law. I keep telling guys, if your internal company policies are not in line with the law, the law takes precedence. So please ensure, my fellow compliance people, please ensure that your policies are in line with the law.
Yeah,
because if a staff takes you to court, hey,
the law will take precedence.
Yes. You have given them a very easy case
to win.
Yeah.
And I told you have a bandwidth for pettiness.
Hey, lawyers. Hey. Anyway, my compliance peeps, make sure your head of legal is your best friend. Yeah, that is what I did. When you meet a law or a regulation yenye inakuchanganya kidogo, run to the head of legal. You're like, hi, please have a quick check for me on this.
Kuna kitu hapa.
Yeah. So that's on onboarding. So that's recruitment actually. We've not yet even reached onboarding.
No, we've not reached onboarding.
Yeah, so that's recruitment. So ensure that when you are recruiting, you also have data protection controls around it. Then there's something that I was even discussing with one of the members of our HR team about, you know, these softwares that check the CVs against whether you're the right fit for that role. Now, the Data Protection Act requires you to inform people if there is automated profiling in your systems. Now, in the event that someone doesn't want a machine or whatever, robot or AI to go through their CV, they want a human, you should have a section for selection to confirm whether someone can, like, I'm trying to remember, I've seen it in one of the international companies. They have somewhere where you tick that you require your CV to be reviewed by an actual human.
And what if, okay, you know, it's recruitment.
Yes.
I genuinely feel like, yes, that option is nice, but it can be like one quick way to eliminate people.
Yeah.
Like, if this is what our process is internally, and of course there's a law that I have to consent to this thing, I as an employer can say, okay, well and good, I am not willing to put manpower on this part of the job. So anybody that says we do not agree, just see the system.
Won't review.
Yes, we won't review. The system rejects.
Yes.
We go forward with
that.
Yeah.
Okay. Now,
because
as you said, lawyers, you're petty. Now, if I come and say that company X was unfair to me at the recruitment process because I required that my CV is reviewed by a human, how would that case go?
How would you know? How? Because you'll get an automated email telling you you've been rejected or something. You're not the right fit. Unless someone in the company tells you we don't review, which would mean Dano is putting her job in jeopardy to come and
tell us.
How will you know? Like, how will you know I didn't review? Honestly, like, anyway, just
a thought. Okay, interesting.
I think the other interesting aspect of recruitment that I've seen even the ODPC handling nowadays is the issue around calling your references.
Yes.
That is a very important aspect of your process. Like, you have to get consent from your candidates on whether or not you should call the references that they list.
Yes. And you're not required to put your references in the CV.
You're not required to put your references in the CV.
That should be now if you're moved
to the next stage.
Yes. Now they request you for your...
Yeah. Because I've seen what companies are doing now is you send your CV and everything, and then they'll come back to you and say, please give us 5 or 6 references that we can call.
Yes.
And by you giving those references, it's kind of like, I've agreed.
They have consented to be your...
to
your
those
referee.
people being asked. But I remember reading a case from the ODPC. I think it must have involved one of the banks. I don't like mentioning names, but it must have involved one of the banks. And I think the bank went ahead and either gave information or called. And the employer, and I think the employee had been dismissed, like, for some sort of misconduct. And they revealed, they said it was this misconduct. And they sued them at the ODPC, by the way. They were like,
why did you share my information?
Why did you share my information? Like, why did you?
I love it.
There was an argument around it for, sometimes it is in the public interest that this information be shared. I remember...
But is it criminal? If it's not a criminal...
Yeah, if it's not a criminal record, probably not.
Probably not.
Probably not. That also there's like, you signed...
Because if you call, like, I'm thinking, if you call Mihala and you're asking about Ndanu, if there was no, like, nothing illegal that I did, and she has nothing nice to say about me, maybe she'll be like, pass. I cannot give
information,
a recommendation for this person.
Yeah.
So for whatever reason, you as that HR go back and call Ndanu and say, I called Mihala
and she said she can't give you a recommendation.
So what happened? What transpired there?
And I've seen how employers are dicing it nowadays. Is you send me a request, I don't give you details, and I don't tell you not to hire. I just tell you, like, when the employee left, they were not in good standing with the organization. Done. Like, I've not revealed anything. I've just told you, mi na yetu kukua tunaelewana.
Yes.
You interpret it the way you want.
The way you want, yes.
Or this was a standout employee, I would definitely recommend them for a job. So you don't say I would not recommend them. You don't go into personal issues.
Yes,
you just say, by the way, by the time they were leaving, they were not in good standing.
And that also happens, like, with regulators when they're doing fit and proper. Yes. So they'll send a request to your previous employer just to confirm that you are in good standing with the employer when you are leaving that place. Yeah. So that now they can know whether to give you a fit and proper approval
or not
for your next job. Yes. That is for roles that require fit and proper approval from regulators.
Good.
Yeah. Okay. So that's recruitment. Also for interviews, I think there are, in some cases, especially if it's an online interview, where the recruiter will request to record.
To record, yeah.
Yes. So that's also very important. Before you record people, you need to seek their consent. Okay? Yeah. All right. So we've gotten the job.
We're now being onboarded. New employees. Sorry.
Okay. So onboarding. Onboarding is very different, very interesting because that is where the HR collects a lot of your personal and sensitive information.
Uko na diabetes? Uko na hypertension?
Yes.
Uko na watoto?
I think that's normally the very not fun part of going to a new job. You sign so many documents. You're like, okay. So you have number one, they'll have to get your personal information, like your education and your employment background, so that they can file that now in their
system.
Yes, their database and see. Now, Mihala, we hired her for X role. She's qualified because of 1, 2, 3 for this role. Okay, that's good. They have filed your information. Then now they collect additional information for your medical insurance. Because most times the application form for your medical insurance has to go through your HR. Yes. The HR will send you an email, tell you, please fill. Then after you fill, you send it back to them. Then they send it to the medical insurance service provider.
So my employer is different. You kind of do that on your ownish. Like you kind of have like a direct connect to.
So the minute they onboard you, they give you like a contact.
I think they like something of the sort.
Use this link.
It's not like you send directly to HR. I think you either for me I filled it on the platform of that insurer. So you finish the information by yourself.
Yes. So they'll just send a notification to your HR that
be like,
we've onboarded X person.
Exactly.
I feel like that's a nini. You'll tell me the name of that insurance.
I will.
Yeah. No. You told me. How come we share the insurance? Even me, it's the same one. But it depends on the employer.
Probably.
How the employer has done.
Probably.
Yeah, interesting.
Because as we did but I switched. I had a different insurer. I had a different insurer initially. Then I switched to this one. I didn't feel like I was getting value for money. Okay. But during that process, you didn't go through the HR.
Like there was no that go between.
There was no that go between.
That's interesting. Insurance companies, think about that. Just put a link where the staff, when a company gets a new staff, the HR sends the link to the person.
Then you log in.
Then now you just send an email to the HR saying X has been onboarded on the cover. I think that's a better way of reducing how much information the HR has. Because I feel like sometimes the HR has too much information that even themselves they don't want to know.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't need to know. Your next of kin is called Ndanu. Like,
or even underlying conditions.
Yeah, underlying conditions.
It's like a lot of information that goes through them. Okay. For medical insurance, probably insurance companies, of course, should find a way to reduce how much information goes through the HR.
Because sometimes there's some HRs that are just, okay, not ours are nice.
Yeah, there's some that don't know how to keep confidentiality. Yeah.
Ako 22 na ako married. Like, you know.
But I think there are those who are good in the sense that it's also, sometimes also from a first aid perspective, I think it's also good to have info for the health and safety officer and for the first aiders on people who have maybe underlying conditions. So that, like in the event of evacuations, maybe there's a fire and you're evacuating people, at least the HR can tell the first aiders, make sure you've evacuated nani
quickly, faster.
Yeah. They don't need to tell them why we are telling you to evacuate. Mtoe tu wa kwanza. Yeah. Even especially when you're expectant, there are times where it's also good when you're, like even for first aiders and fire marshals, when you're evacuating people, you ensure that there's someone helping the expectant mothers down the staircase. Yeah, so that people don't trample on them. Or you get
ama wasibaki.
Yes, even for like disabled
persons with disability.
Yeah, because you know there are times people forget them. Okay, imagine the guys just go and they forget. Like you guys actually forgot your colleague.
Like, hey, mambo yalikuwa mengi.
No judgment, but you guys actually forgot your colleague. Yeah, I think sometimes that's something just for sensitization. Yes, and for you as the HR personnel that gets that information, you need to ensure that the systems where you're maintaining sensitive information are secure and that you maintain confidentiality of your staff. Very important. So don't go telling their line manager, oh, huyo anaweza faint anytime.
Take care of anaweza faint anytime.
Yeah, no. That's what.
Akona kifafa, like, come on.
That's what information that you need to go sharing with their line manager, unless probably it's going to affect their work. Maybe someone is going to be away. But you also don't need to tell them why.
The details.
You just need to tell them.
We've approved.
Yes,
We've
so is going to be away for a while.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. If, in case you need additional support, please inform
Let
us.
know.
You don't need to tell them what has happened. Let that be the person's information to share. If they want to share.
They can share it themselves.
They can share it themselves.
I think, I want to do a quick fire with you, but I think one of the good things that the Data Protection Act has done is to kind of give back that autonomy back to us.
Yes.
It is now my information to share,
yes.
and you don't have a right to share my information with anyone. Quick fire. There's information that is collected at onboarding.
Yeah.
So we want to classify it as either sensitive or personal.
Yeah.
So when I mention, you tell me whether it's sensitive and personal. Look directly to the camera.
Okay. All right.
Bank account details.
Sensitive.
Name.
Personal.
ID number.
Personal.
Phone number.
Personal.
KRA PIN.
Personal.
Shift number. Shift SHA number.
I'll give it sensitive.
NSSF.
Personal.
Okay. Emergency contact.
Sensitive.
Medical information.
Sensitive.
Next of kin detail.
Sensitive.
Pension details.
Sensitive.
Good.
So I think I'd given NSSF, probably we can move it to sensitive.
To sensitive,
because it's also, it falls under pension.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Good. Mumesikia? Mumesikia kwenye zina fall? Good. Okay.
All right.
So we are speaking about onboarding.
Yeah.
I think another role of HR during onboarding is to train you on data protection.
Yeah.
Would you want to talk to us a little bit about that? Because I know you are involved.
Okay. So one, during onboarding of staff, the number one thing you should ensure that your staff do within their first week is attestation of company policies. That's number one. So your core policies and the departmental policies which that person is now assigned to, they need to sign those policies within their first week. One of the things I used to appreciate about our former boss, William, when when I joined the risk department, the first week, there's nothing I did. Kusoma policies, the department, the procedures for that department.
I actually like that about my employer as well. Like, it's such they bombard you with information.
Yes.
But it's good information to learn.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that, like, when we hit the ground running, don't tell me you didn't know that this is part of our policy. Like, get down to it, read the policies, okay?
Understand it.
Understand
Ask
what you're getting into.
them.
Yes. I know sometimes HRs are normally like, oh, you know, this was a very quick hire because the department is overwhelmed. Let me tell you, the day that person does something that is off what they're supposed to be doing, you will tell us whether that the benefits of the agency outweigh the consequences.
The penalty.
Yes. So please ensure your people read policies. And one of the key policies is the data protection policy or data privacy policy, okay? So it's important for a company to have a data privacy policy, especially if you're working with personal information. So it's very difficult to have a company that's not working with personal information.
Yes.
Because most times, either you'll have individual customers, then there's already data subjects there. There's individuals' data that you're processing. You're working with vendors, so you'll do some know your customer or know your supplier kind of onboarding on those vendors. So you will get to know who owns that company, who manages that company. There you'll be collecting personal information. You have counterparties, you have partners. So let's say Ndanu and Associates is partnering with Mihala and Associates on a governance consultancy. It means that during that partnership, or as we are engaging on that partnership, there's personal information we're going to exchange, okay? So that's why it's very important for a company to have a data protection policy. Then now, on top of that, make sure you train your staff on the policies. So part of your induction process should be training on the policies. Okay? So let them go through, whether you've recorded the trainings, whether you're going to have someone physically come and train them. I prefer recording, but physically train them. It is okay. Let people understand what they're signing. Okay? So on areas that maybe might not be common knowledge, like data privacy, let them go through training. Yeah, let them be explained to what is personal information, what is sensitive information, how does the company classify different types of data. Let them be trained. Let them learn and understand how you handle different cases. If there's a complaint from a customer, how do we handle it? Like, by the way, training of staff is very important. Like, I normally see people struggling. Like, you talk to someone and they tell you, oh, I've been struggling with my job. And then you ask them, has your line manager ever trained you, like, on what you're supposed to do? No. Someone just came, gave them the system, and told them to start working.
You work.
Yeah.
Figure it out.
There's no university that's teaching management information systems for companies. Yeah. You have to train your staff.
And a lot of those management information systems, they might be similar, but they are unique in every situation.
Exactly.
So even if I have interacted with it before, when I come to company X, I need to know how company X optimizes the management information system. I can't just come in and then...
Yes. And then I need to know, where does my job start and end? My mandate.
It can't be end to end.
Yes. You remember, there was something we did some time back. Hey, William, we're going to shout you out on this episode. We used to have a framework on William. Used to make us do, like, keep reviewing every year. It used to be called a what? I don't want to call it authorization, but it used to be...
I know it. Something authority matrix.
Authority matrix, yes.
Matrix.
And we used to define from
oh my God,
the lowest level up to the highest level.
It was so good. Like, I think I've used it in my subsequent engagements.
Yes.
When the polar advice, I'm like, get an authority matrix. It was so clear on who signs what and who does what.
Yes.
And once you're trained once on it, that's it.
That's it. Let your employees know this is where my job starts and this is where it ends. Yeah.
I think the other thing that maybe we need to mention is during the onboarding process, when you're giving people their contracts, you have to make sure that they agree to all the policies.
Yes.
I know there's employers usually require that you sign all the policies. You might have 500 policies. The easier way to do it is to make sure there's a clause that says, look, any policy in this company, you agree to follow it. And a clause that speaks to that. What is established under the law is you don't have to sign each and every policy. It's a nice to have. As long as you've signed a contract with an employer, it is implied that you're supposed to follow their rules. It's like the rules of the game. You're in the game, you have to follow the rules of the game. If you don't follow the rules of the game, don't join the game at all.
Yeah. Actually, that's true. Because I usually say it like, remember when, like those of us who went to public high schools, then there used to be very interesting rules, like no walking, always
movement by running. Movement by running. Hi, good girls.
Movement by running. Like, there's normally a culture for every place you go to. The same way, like in the high school you went to, there was a certain culture of you need to be in class by this time, you need to do your assignments by this time, this is how you walk, this is how you dress. You remember, were you guys being done for inspections on your dressing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, all our socks used to, like, by the way, I went to high school where it would be almost an impossibility. It was very rare to see people with their socks.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All their socks used to go up to the knee. Like, every day, it's knee-high socks.
You wonder, elastic doesn't...
By the way, sometimes but you're running and you're just pulling up. You're literally pulling up your socks. Like,
Anyway, yeah, so it's the same way. When you join an organization, it's important to understand their policies, their procedures, and their culture, okay? So that and for you, even as the HR and senior management, you need to build a culture where data privacy is upheld. Yes, so also, besides having very nice policies, don't be like the Kenyan government that has very good documentation, but
and yet
embedding
They are just documents.
Yeah. So make sure you've embedded that culture. So people know in this company, we just don't share information.
People's information. And by the way, there's information that you can share that is probably neither sensitive nor personal, but it's information that you shouldn't share anyway. It might be confidential. It might not even be confidential. It might be information that is none of your business to share.
Yes.
I think as HR, you should be very keen on making that a disciplinary issue. Like, you cannot just share information that you should not be sharing in the first place.
Yes. Okay. I know, okay, that's a conversation for another day when we host a HR. Someone might say, oh, we're going to build silos in the organization.
Sylvia.
Okay, so we've covered recruitment.
And onboarding.
Yeah. Okay. So now we're going into during your business relationship.
Your tenure as an employee, during your business relationship. Your nipe ni kupe.
With your employer. Okay. So during your tenure, number one is to comply with company policies. Okay. Please ensure you comply with company policies. And in the event that you find that maybe you've made a mistake, I'm a big believer in self-reporting.
Right? Actually, mine is less self-reporting, more. Let me tell my boss so that he hears that story first from me. By the time someone else is coming to tell the story, he already has my version.
Yeah. Yes.
Gets you into much less trouble as long as you're not doing illegal things.
Yes, of course.
If it's an honest mistake, own up to it quicker.
Yes, own up to it. It's true. I agree with you 100%. Own up to your mistakes quicker. When you try and hide and fix it, chini ya maji is when
it blows up.
Yeah, it becomes worse. Okay. So you need to comply. Then, as you're complying with that, we've been getting questions about, can the company use my photos on their social media
platforms? I usually like to start with a general answer, and then I give you the exception. The general rule is yes, they can use your photos, but you have to give informed consent for them to use those photos on different social media platforms. You have to agree that your photos be used on the social media platforms. One of the things that we think about is maybe when you're signing your contract of employment, we can put in a clause that we can use you for media. I like to think that with the incoming of the Data Protection Act, it gives you, as an employer, the opportunity to seek informed consent from your employees so that they do not sue you. Notice how I'm not framing it as a problem. It's an opportunity for you to get them to sign a media release form to allow you to use their photos or videos or content on your social media platform. So this means that our very nice young ladies and gentlemen, I'm not gender biased, oh my God, who walk around with cameras and iPhones and do their social media work, when they come and they take a video or a photo of you, you're supposed to consent to those being used on social media. There's a good question that our own social media manager asked before we started this episode. It was to the effect that if I leave an organization, what then happens to my photos that are being put up? You're supposed to take them down, essentially, because I'm no longer part of this organization. And even if I signed a contract, more often than not, my contract with you is already terminated. And sometimes the media release form will say, look, when you leave employment, we can take down the photos. Sometimes it might give that right in perpetuity, but I don't feel like it's okay for you to keep a photo, especially if it's an individual photo of someone on your website after they've already left, and especially if they have issue with it. So what are companies doing nowadays? Some companies will take those photos down at the request of the data subject. If I request, I say, okay, look, when I leave, please take my photo down. They will take those down. While some will, if it's a group photo, they'll be like, there's everyone else in this photo. Probably we might not be able to take this down. Let's get into an agreement and compensate you something and keep the photo up for a certain period of time.
Okay. Yeah. Makes sense. Also, you need to be careful not to start going back to old photos, because that is how you can find yourself posting photos of former employees.
Yes.
Yeah. So you have to also be very careful. So for the marketing teams, it's important that you're careful on how you're handling people's information. And I think one of the areas a lot of marketing teams are trying is on videos by employees, okay? when you're taking those videos, that's an opportunity for you to get someone to sign the media release form. Before you record that video, tell them, hi, can you also sign for me this?
The form, yes.
Yes.
I remember when we went for the marathon, for the run, 3 weeks back. Actually, before you get the video, the media guys were like, okay, sign for me here. Do you want to do 5 TikTok videos? And you're like, fam, I just wanted to do 2. They're like, okay, then sign for me here.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's okay. Then you also have the right to go and request for your photo to be pulled down. Yes. Remember that Mihala mentioned that one of the key things or the good things about the Data Protection Act is that it returns the power back to you as a data subject. You now have the power to say, no, I don't want
this down.
Yes, exactly. I don't want my photos on social media anymore. Yeah. And you can say, or maybe probably when you move to a new employer and now probably you're ahead of a department or the CEO of this other new company, you probably would want the previous photos taken down because now your brand is being associated with another
new employer.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Then the other question is on group photos. So what happens when we take the big company photo?
That's a tricky, that feels like a tricky landmine for me. Because like this photo has 500 people and you're one of those 500 people.
Yes.
I know there must have been people who have been like, take this down.
Yeah.
But sometimes, I think sometimes companies would be like, okay, maybe we can compensate you something and give you, or maybe like there's a lot more people here, so the benefits of having it up outweigh the I don't know how that is usually handled, to be honest. But I would think first maybe some sort of compensation and then you let your photo stay up. Yeah. But I'd also think like, I'd just say like a public interest kind of thing. Like there's 100 people. It's kind of selfish of you to require me to remove a photo where there's 100. Yeah. I don't know. That's how I'm thinking.
But I feel like there's usually a timestamp.
Yeah.
Yes. Because even on your LinkedIn, you're going to put that I worked for company X from this date to this date. So if there's a photo of you in a company event or the large group photo for that date, for the period where you are working in that place, please, so pia tusikwe very petty.
Let's just like, come on.
One of the things I've seen companies doing like for conferences where they host like a big group, okay? Because you also want to take photos of the conference. So you find some photographers take photos from the back so that your face is not seen. But the one where I find is much better is they ask, would you like your photos to be taken during the course of the conference? Now, if you say no, there's the tables that are demarcated for people who don't want their photos taken. And then the tables, and it's not at the blanket approval. If you sit here, you have consented. No, it's at the entrance when you're getting in. You tick, I'm okay with my photo being taken, and then you're shown.
They sit you in a certain area.
Exactly.
I see the other one that for events that they tag you. So they'll, you remember there's an event we went to, I think it was the TMI event, where they tagged us, like if you want your photo to be taken, they tag you with maybe a like orange, and then if you don't want, they tag you with green.
Yeah.
So you always know this person wants or does not want to be in a photo.
Yes.
So I think if you do those two, you say you sit on this side and then we are tagging you, even when you are at tea break, I know who to take photos of.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I think that's a good way of operationalizing data protection controls. Yeah. Okay. So marketing teams, get creative. Get creative.
You are the creatives.
Yeah. And guys for events. Okay, we've digressed a little bit. These people for events who put a sign at the entrance saying, if you enter this event,
please
you have
note your photos are being...
That is not informed consent.
Do better.
Yeah.
Do better. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah.
I think the other thing that is tricky with employers and information is correcting your next of kin information. I think it's the role of your employer to correct your next of kin information, and it's your role to give them that new next of kin information. There's a recent challenge that I saw where someone had changed their next of kin and they'd changed their spouse. And we held that information because when they were using that information for, how can I put it, for maternity and paternity leave, like you already see, Ndanu has listed Derek as their next of kin in the insurance form and, you know, all that document. But when I was joining the organization 5 years ago, my next of kin was, I don't know.
Married, my mom maybe.
Yes, maybe your mom.
Yeah.
So you now start to tell the employee there's a disconnect between your next of kin in your employee records and the next of kin that is listed in your medical insurance. And I remember telling them, look, you are the custodian of both of this data. You have my next of kin on my file and you have my next of kin on the insurance document. It is upon you as the employer to regulate it. You can't punish me for information that I have given to you. Me, when I tell you my new next of kin in my insurance document is person X, it's on you to change. You can't now start saying, oh, Ndanu, you should have even told us so that we change it in your records.
Well,
and then there's those of us who change spouses every 6 months. Fair. But employers, you have to be keen.
yes.
And know this person, the spouse was this, now they're this person. Like, because you're the custodian of that information. So you have to keep it updated.
If you change spouses every 6 months, just put your brother or sister as your next of kin.
Thank you.
Clearly, because here
There's a problem somewhere.
Yeah.
There is a problem somewhere.
Yes. But also now, again, operationalization, the HR database. So most companies usually have a HR system. So one of the things that some companies do is to have a place for biodata. So whenever there's a change in your personal information, you go there and change it on the system. So that now they are able now to update other records.
Okay. That's also a good way. That's
Yes.
a good way of throwing it back to me as the employee.
Yes. Yeah. So just, if something has changed, just go to the system,
Check the
update
biodata.
Yeah. HR will get an email that Mihala has updated
their next of kin
data. Then now they'll update it within other records. Yeah.
And what if I change maybe that biodata, I change it because I want to change my insurance, but HR doesn't update in the back end.
Now that is on HR. Okay. Yes, because they have given you the mechanism on the front end of how you need to update the data. So now they'll go back and update. But also, like with insurance, nowadays, I think there's a way you can also do it yourself, depending on the insurance company.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Even for your, like, something like your money market account, just go to the app, update whatever details you want to update, and continue.
Nice to know.
Yeah. So
Very nice to know.
remember, data is in your hands now.
I have the autonomy. Mimi kama mwenye data.
And one of the things about the data protection laws, it requires that you need to have the right to portability and you need to have the right to rectification. So that's why you find companies make it easier for you to go to whatever portal they have, just get in, update your records yourself.
And download probably.
And download. If you want to download whatever biodata they have on you, you can be able to download. Yeah.
Let's handle another part of it. Data privacy and medical records. I like to say that, in fact, let me put down my phone for this. I like to say that sick leave is one of those leaves that is not automatic. Sick leave, you have to unlock sick leave by bringing me a sick sheet.
Yes.
There's a conversation to be had about what is sensitive, protected, and personal data when I'm presenting my sick sheet. One of the things that we like to experience, especially with especially with problematic employees, is I don't want to bring you my medical records because I feel like it is my personal sensitive data, which it is. Yeah, I agree. But you have to give me reason enough to give you the sick leave. So mandatory, you have to bring me the sick sheet. The sick sheet doesn't have to outline the entirety of your medical records, but the professional doctor or the medical practitioner has to say, okay, I've given her 5 days of sick leave because they are unwell. Like, that information has to come out clearly. If you're asking me for a long-term sick leave, and maybe I have a policy that can extend your sick leave for 3-4 months, you have to give me a reason to give you those 3 months. And again, I'm not talking about like the doctor going to into the nitty-gritties of telling me the entirety of your condition. It can be Ndanu has condition X that requires general disease, that requires 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One of the things is long-term sick leave. Yeah. Sometimes an employer will say, okay, look, you have to go for a second medical opinion. The misconception that we have around that, again, is they have to give you a full array. The second medical opinion can look at the first doctor's note, examine you, and kind of say, I confirm this person eligible for 3 months of work. Or I can tell you for a fact this person is supposed to be at work tomorrow. So there's that misconception on, oh, you want to access the entirety of my medical records so that you give me sick leave. Employers and employees, let's move away from that. It's information that is enough for the employer to be able to grant you the sick leave. And employers, it's you asking for information that is sufficient for you to substantiate or dispel the requirement for the sick leave.
That's true. Yeah. Okay. Yes. And also, remember, if you forge your sick sheet, gross misconduct.
Gross misconduct. Hiyo imeingia kwa criminal culpability.
Yes.
When you get into the purview of criminal culpability, very little your employer can do about it.
Yes, yes. Yeah. But also, I like to remind people, if you're a manager or a HR, to be humane. If I call you in the morning and tell you that I've rushed my child to hospital, then you start telling me, make sure you bring a note from the hospital. Like, you're not even like, I hope you're well or whatever. The first thing out of your mouth is, make sure you bring a note. Hey, man. Like, guys.
Tulieni.
And
if I've rushed my child to the hospital, like maybe I have, what is...
Yes. And do you know there are people who normally say you need to send an email first? Like, make sure you send an email. Like, so am I here trying to get my child's fever down while I am sending an email?
Or am I sending an email to confirm to my HR that with a picture of Gertrude's Children's Hospital in the background?
Here is my child convulsing because of a high fever.
Please, kindly no, kind regards. Those regards will not be kind at all.
Yeah, by the way. And that person is looking for another job. The way you've talked to them, just go check their search history. They're on LinkedIn. They are looking for another job. Me, I'm normally like, by the way, if there's something people forget, like managers kwanza, how you talk to people when they are sick or when their child is sick. Me kwanza when your child is. Me, by the way, if you talk to me some type of way when my child is sick,
you've crossed a line.
You've crossed a
line. There is a line you've crossed and there's no going back.
I'm like, that is the most, more important than this job of yours.
Right? Why do you think I'm here? Why do you think I'm here?
You think I'd be working but I didn't have responsibilities?
Why do you think I'm here?
Yeah, so I think people need to remember to be humane. Like, because I find there are some places you'll hear someone like, people are like, why does she take so much time in the mother's room? Spends too much time in the I'm like, yo.
What level of police? Sawa DCI.
Too much time in the mother's room. Why do they leave the office early? I have to, there are companies, do you know there are companies that don't have policies on new mothers leaving the office early?
That's not a policy, that's a law.
Imagine.
It is not a policy,
you find a mom is working until 5.
That's a law.
Where mtoto ako below 6 months. I'm telling you, hey, there's a guy on LinkedIn who does posts on Parkland's HR.
Oh, I know that guy. Today, Parkland's HR. I know that guy.
You left the office at 4:57. Then you get an email. Please note. Official time to leave the office is 5 p.m.
sharp.
Unafika 8:03. Please note. Yeah. So also let's remember to be humane when we are implementing some of these policies. Anyway, we digress. But
I like to tell even the HR crew that I work with, it's called human resource.
Yes.
So when you're looking at a case, look at the human and the resource aspect.
Yes.
Sometimes the human is usually taken advantage of, and we understand. But sometimes you have to be more human than resource, and sometimes you have to be more resource than human. So think through it like that. Like, do I need to be more human in this situation, or do I need to be more resource? Nowadays, they're called HR business partner. So do I need to be more business partner or more human? Think about it.
Kama kuna profession that has been giving themselves a lot of titles.
I know. People engagement.
People
director,
and culture officer.
people and culture officer. Because you are running away from the human. And even if it's
Talent
people,
and acquisition.
that's not a recruitment, sweetie. Lead.
Talent and acquisition lead. Talent manager.
Talent manager.
Talent retention.
Officer. Supervisor specialist.
guys, HR, come down.
But you know, like there's some organizations where it's split.
Yes, I know.
Like my organization is like talent acquisition lead and
Yes.
people and culture lead are two different.
Yes, I know.
Very.
Yeah.
Still.
They usually have like one head.
Yeah.
And then they've segmented. I know they have them just.
The titles are not just legal manager, legal director, legal like it's not like there's no, as we have like 5 titles to pick from. If you don't fall within that, you're not a legal. Compliance, you have like 4. Risk and compliance lead, general like it's 4 done. If there's no compliance in you're not a compliance person.
Actually, I need to update my title.
True.
What?
Engagement, regulatory engagement lead.
Bas, I like that one, Kwanza.
So that you don't look
Yeah.
risk and compliance.
I like, there's one HR I worked with who used to tell me, as risk, you're also business partners. So I'm like, okay. So now I should get, instead of calling like people risk officer, when I hire, I'm like, partner. Risk business partner. Then I give you the departments that you'll be working with. Risk business partner XD.
Where you're partnering is here.
Anyway,
we digress.
Okay, yeah.
Now let's go down. You've been in the organization for a while. There's a disciplinary issue. I'm not saying you guys are going to go through disciplinary because rundowners are compliant and nice. We're talking about those other people.
Hard workers.
Yes, you guys are hard workers. We're talking about like the other guys, the ones that go through disciplinary. So what is the role of HR during disciplinary? Can you start us off?
Okay.
In data privacy.
Okay, so number 1, any information that you share with HR during the disciplinary process needs to be held with confidentiality. Number 1, that is warning letters. The whole company doesn't need to know you got a warning letter.
Right?
Yeah. Okay. That's
or you're going through a disciplinary
process. You remember HR and your line manager. Yes, you need to handle those situations with confidentiality. There's something when we were talking about during your employment term, I forgot to mention. Disclosures. Remember, there are companies that tell you need to disclose if you're in a serious relationship within the organization. If it's casual flirtations and other casual matters, you might not need to disclose. But the minute you start doing a Rora show, start living together, you want to do a white wedding, please go and disclose to your HR because it is important to avoid conflicts of interest. Okay, so you shouldn't be having your wife as your director. Okay.
Unless it's a family business.
Yes.
There's only 2 of you.
Yeah, that's okay.
You have already disclosed to that area.
Yeah, you already disclosed to each other. Yeah, but in other matters, you need to disclose to your HR. So with such disclosures, there should be a lot of confidentiality. Okay? Let it not be office gossip that, hey, do you know Ndanu and Mihala are in a relationship?
It's a serious one.
And a serious one.
Walienda madhaa juzi.
Yeah. No. Let it not be that way. Because now your employees will feel like there's no safety in the office. Yeah? And now you're even giving yourself grounds for what? Constructive dismissal. We did an episode on that, so go back. Okay? Yeah. So that, I just remembered that we hadn't touched on the
disclosures.
Yes. So there are disclosures that are sensitive. There are different types of disclosures, especially around conflict of interest that you'd require your staff to give you. If you, like my sister is coming for an interview, probably I'd need to disclose it to HR because I can't sit on the panel. Ensure confidentiality. You don't need to tell everyone, oh, Ndanu said she can't sit on that panel because her sister is going to be on the... guys. Yeah, let's try and keep
down low.
Okay, so we were talking about
disciplinary.
Privacy and disciplinary. Yes. So during that process, you also need to ensure that you maintain confidentiality. So only the disciplinary committee and the line manager should be aware of what is happening. And any information that is shared during that process also needs to be held with confidentiality. Because maybe you may go through a disciplinary process and then you find out maybe someone is going through some mental health issues. Yeah. So how do you handle that as a HR? Remember, Mihala has said, sometimes you need to be human. Okay? And sometimes you need to be
business partner or the resource. Act like the resource.
Yes. So during that process also you need to ensure that you maintain confidentiality. All your records need to be filed properly, and ensure that if it's on the system, they're password protected. If it's on if it's physical documents that you maintain, make sure that access is restricted. Yes. So HR, please remember to keep your documents safely, okay? And ensure that you follow your company's data retention policies. Very important.
I think the other thing about the disciplinary process is, apart from just warning letters and whatnot, there's maybe the panel deliberations and the rest of the disciplinary records. How are you handling those records?
Yes.
Are you just leaving your laptop open and letting everybody look at the documents? Are you gossiping about it with, your friend in the office? This is the content of the disciplinary record. You have no idea what Ndanu said on that disciplinary panel. Remember, sometimes at the end of the day, someone might lose their job, which then will put an unfair target on someone's back because they're probably the person who are first to recommend the termination, or they'll remain in the organization and you'll be like,
Ama you go saying, Ati, by the way, it's Ndanu who whistle blew that you're doing 1, 2, 3.
You're the one, you're sexually harassing A, B, C, D, E.
No, because I think one of sometimes, let me just say, sometimes as the risk people imagine we are the ones who have
whistle blown.
Yes, to HR. Sometimes we are the ones. Sometimes we are not. But for me, I'm usually like, it's your problem.
Yourself out.
Knock yourself out, whatever it is you want to imagine or think. But sometimes I usually say you need to handle that process of, if you got information. So let's say you're the head of HR or a disciplinary committee, and you know that information came from Mavo. Mavo whistle blew that Evans is doing X. Okay? Now, you need to ensure that when you're bringing in Evans for the disciplinary, you've not disclosed that it's Mavo who said that Evans is doing
A, B, C, D, E.
Yes.
Because there's also usually that misconception that when I'm going for a disciplinary hearing, I have to face my accuser. Who said?
You don't.
I have to face, they have to come and tell me by themselves, there's an investigation report, you've been given the investigation report, or you've been given the allegations, and now you're asked to answer questions around that allegation. And more often than not, employees, we usually know what we're being accused. Like, you know what happened. You really do know what happened. So sometimes it even beats logic for you to come and say, oh, I wasn't even aware that this was happening. Some of us are disingenuous during that process. And it's understandable because, you've been backed into a corner. But let's also look at it from the other side. If you are the one that had whistle blown, would you want to be faced in that disciplinary?
By the way,
would you want to be faced?
Actually, there's one of my bosses currently usually reminds me when we're handling sensitive issues like fraud cases, whistleblowing, usually tells me, remember that sometimes if this investigation goes a different way, like we find Mihala was accused of something and we find no evidence around it, remember Mihala needs to go back and work with people.
Yes.
So that is why we are saying handle these things very well. With care. Okay? So in as much as Mihala was accused of something, don't now start acting like she's a criminal. Okay? Because Mihala might need to come back. Maybe this was done by someone who was malicious.
Malicious, yes.
Or maybe someone misconstrued an interaction with
someone
with
else.
a supplier or something. Then we find, actually, there's no issue there. So this person needs to go back to work. So remember that an investigation process or a disciplinary process can go both ways. Yes. So you need to also be careful with how you're handling those things. You don't leave a bad taste in people's mouths.
And then the other thing about it is, if I'm called to this, you remember the whole disciplinary process is notice to show cause.
Yes.
I write back. I either show cause or I don't. You call me to a disciplinary. I might come to that disciplinary and I show cause. I say, by the way, it did not come out clearly in the letter, but this is what happened. At the end of the process, you're like, oh, by the way, Ndanu is not at fault.
Yes.
At that point, you have disclosed to everyone the way Ndanu is a fraud and took money and defamation.
Yeah.
Defamation. Defamation.
I remember there's a guy, you remember that story? A guy we worked with who went for disciplinary and came with files of evidence.
Oh, yes.
Aye! Hey, that guy, you're still my hero. You know who you are.
Shika. Now,
yes.
Shike.
Yes. Because there's sometimes some line managers who maliciously take you for disciplinary. Please, print all those emails. Print.
Print. Send.
Carry them.
Anyway. So, basically, during the disciplinary process, it's just protecting the integrity of the documentation, the people, the information, and the decision, probably parts of the decision of the panel. The decision of the panel will be known.
Yeah.
But who said what, I don't think that's the business of
the committee.
Yeah, so that's the business of the employee. Yeah. Leave that to the committee, maintain confidentiality during that process. Now, let's look at data privacy during offboarding.
Okay. So I have resigned.
You have resigned. You've gotten a job at, your MasterCard are now like Ndanu, global head of risk, global risk business partner, global risk and compliance
Mavo and Evans, can I hear an amen?
Amen.
Okay, so number one, guys, HRs, line managers, senior managers, remember, I don't need to disclose to you where I am going. Guys, okay? That is a misconception that a lot of managers have had. Nobody needs to tell you where they are going.
Yeah, maybe I've met a billionaire.
Yeah. Okay? So here, pushing someone, just tell us where you're going. How much are they giving you? So that you can give me a counter. By the way, that's the other place on the counter. I don't need to show you the offer letter for that other company.
You give me a counter.
Yeah.
Where uko na?
Uko na ngapi?
That ni nifo.
Yeah. Sahi tupimane.
Uko na?
Tupimane, my friend. Yes. I don't need to tell you where I'm going. I don't need to tell you how much they're offering me. Yes. That is my personal information. Okay? If I voluntarily tell you, maybe because I want to you to match the offer that I have gotten,
well,
that is on me. Okay? If I don't want to tell you, if you want to give me a counter,
you give me
a counter.
Wacha tuone.
Mimi sasa niangalie. At this point, I am the beautiful girl.
I'm the price.
I am the price. At this point, it is on me to decide who is giving me a better offer. So wewe kama wewe HR, cheza kama wewe, nione. And if I decline your counter, please don't go pouting all over the office.
You are malicious. Sasa hata umeshanitoa kwa system na hata siku zangu hazijaisha.
I know.
My laptop is all switched off.
I can barely do my handover notes.
I can't do my handover notes.
Calm down, guys. Get used to rejection, okay? Yeah. Wanaume hapa Mavo na Evans, they will tell you. Our production crew will tell you. Wanaume washazoea rejection. So calm down. It is okay for you to be rejected by an employee. If they've decided it's time to go, it is okay. They came to your company voluntarily. Allow them to leave voluntarily. Don't coerce them for information, okay, on where they are going. Because there have been incidents where people have given information of where they are going, and a malicious manager or HR has called that other company.
Akawambia, uyo. Hata saizi yako disciplinary.
Imagine. But they feel free not to tell people where you're going. I've started believing in bad eyes.
Your village.
Your village
So
people might be around your office. They might be the village.
I'll be seeing a cat randomly that is never in the office.
Maybe the people who are so bad. The people who are so malicious.
Yeah.
You start calling someone's new employer to start
Sending anonymous tips.
Imagine, like you don't have some other work.
People have bandwidth for pettiness.
Izuku. If you have bandwidth for pettiness, be like the lawyers. Them, they are being paid for their bandwidth of pettiness.
Thank you.
Don't be Uku being malicious because someone has resigned. It's okay. You'll get someone else. It's fine. Let them go. Let them wish them well and
let them move on.
Let them move on. And in the event they decide to disclose where they are going, maintain their privacy and confidentiality. In the event they decide to tell you how much they are going to earn in the new place, it's okay. They've maybe thought that you're a good person that they can share that information with
you.
Yeah, so just keep it to yourself. Even the exit interview. Okay, I know a lot of companies do an exit interview, so maintain confidentiality of those records. Yeah, file them well. Remember, password protect if it's on digital or whatever, soft. If it's physical, maintain them in a secure platform. Don't go telling the whole office, by the way, Ndanu left because she could no longer work with Mihala.
Mommy.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Yes.
Alimkulisha character development with a K.
No. Yes, so maintain confidentiality in the exit interview process. I'm seeing a lot of companies nowadays, when the HRs do some of those like exit interviews and maybe pulse, like what are they called? These surveys that people do.
Oh,
the
yeah.
Internal surveys.
Exit surveys.
Or even the internal ones, like the employee satisfaction surveys. They try to remove any identifiable information so that when they're giving feedback back to management, it's not very direct.
And the email you used on the Google form is Mihala Barasa?
No, I'm saying the HR cleans it up before they present it. Okay. Yes. Because most times they know. The HR knows.
Okay.
The HR knows. Me, I normally say the HR knows. They know. If you ask, they tell you. If they were to tell you, Mbaye tuka. They'll be like, hey, by the way.
You have no idea.
Your whole department does not like you.
Do better.
But then sometimes I think it might be entertaining for HR.
Right?
I'd be like,
you have access to so much information.
Yeah, because like in the meeting, I'm looking at manager and I'm thinking to myself, your whole department does not like you.
You tried to register 2 wives. And then you can't. That's also the challenge with our roles. Like you have a very limited number of people you can talk to about issues.
Yes.
And sometimes it's not even good. It's like, this is a real issue that I need
to talk to someone.
Advice on. And it's like, list. My boss, HR business partner, done.
Yeah.
List done.
List done. This is what you can talk to.
Maybe investigations, like, 3 people, done.
There's a CEO I worked with who used to tell me, by the fact of your role, you have to maintain the information that I tell you. You just have to keep it to yourself. So I just sit there and I am told.
Yeah, you're told, you're like.
I was just like, that is a lot. Okay. Can I take the rest of the day off? like even you, after you told me all these things, don't you think I need a rest day?
You think?
Don't you think I need to go relax and digest all these things, all this information that you have given me? Yeah. So by virtue of course, HR, compliance, risk, legal, there's so much information you get that you have to keep to yourself. Yes. for various reasons. So you have to just ensure that you maintain the one in our previous episode. What did you call it?
What?
The Secrecy Act.
Official Secrets Act.
Official Secrets Act.
You have an official Secrets Act for your organization.
For those roles, for control functions. For auditors, investigators.
Official Secrets Policy.
Yes.
That is also a secret. You can audit, HR, legal, risk compliance. What else?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What else? During exit. So, of course, maintain their confidentiality, keep the records that they give you well. And then now the information that you had, okay? Remember in Kenya, you're supposed to maintain official records for up to 7 years. So after they've left, you need to archive that information for 7 years, okay? In the event something comes up later, then now you still have that information. So something coming up is not necessarily like a legal risk per se. It could be maybe someone has gone to NSSF to claim their benefits and maybe NSSF can't find their records. They can come back to you and call you and ask, hey, NSSF are looking for this information, my remittance for the period that I worked with you.
Can you share?
Can you share
that?
Exactly. Yes. It could be shift share. It could be, there's so much information that as HR you keep on employees. So just archive it securely so that in the event someone comes back later to try and retrieve their data and the information, you can easily get it. Okay. So it's not at now that you're going to keep using it. No, just archive it. Okay. Even for the ones that are in soft. IT can show you how to
put that in a database.
Yes.
I'm thinking also this is the point where someone might tell you delete my photo, delete my videos that are on a social media platform. This is your time to probably delete that information.
Yes.
As an employee, this is the time where you return the company laptop. Please don't stay with it. This is the time where if there's sensitive information that you're holding, physical or even on software, and you're supposed to return it to the organization, this is the time that you return it hassle-free. Don't usikwamilie information ya wenyewe. Give the information back to the company and go and do well.
And go and do wow. Mihala. That is how Mihala says goodbye to her people. And go and do well.
And do well. And do well.
Okay, that's good.
So I think maybe the last part of it, we can touch a little on the governance.
Yes.
Governance of data in the employment space.
Okay.
Tell us, what do you think about governance of data? What are the key issues you should be looking at when you think about governance of data? What are the things that we miss or we don't deal with when you're thinking about governance of data in the workplace?
So I'll start with an example. So you're leaving a company and you want to carry your nice templates that you had done when you were in that company.
Yes.
Okay? Those templates don't have anybody's personal information. But the fact that you did them while you're working in that company, they become the company's
proprietary information.
Exactly. Now, companies, I'd say the larger companies have now data governance frameworks. So these data governance frameworks move beyond data privacy. So data privacy and data privacy laws are mainly about personal information of an individual. Now, company information is not personal information. But now a company can have a framework on company data, okay? So they can classify their data, okay? They can classify confidential information. So that can be company financial records, revenue numbers, whatever numbers that the company wants to keep, they can classify it as confidential data. Then there's also sensitive information. That can be now the ones that have customer data, okay? So let's say you're working in a law firm. So Mihala has given you a job. You're there working as a, whatever it is job you'll do at the law firm. Then now as you're leaving, you decide to download the whole database for the law firm. Hey, guys, see now even you're trying
There's actually a case like that went to the ODPC. There's a law firm called Wamai and Allen. They terminated a lady's contract, and then that lawyer had emailed herself like pleadings and documents during the course of her employment. Challenge with this one now, it was not just templates. You know the way legal templates are. It will read Ndanunzi Yuko versus Mihala Barasa, and it will go I Ndanunzi Yuko of ID number XYZ and of PO Box XYZ, a female adult of sound mind residing in. Even just the first statement of the replying affidavit.
Yes.
Is already my personal information.
Yes.
And then, God forbid, I am going through not a custody, divorce and maintenance battle. God forbid, I have property.
Yes.
God forbid, I am listing my property there. Or God forbid, I'm talking about my medical condition that a hospital misfired.
Yes.
By dint of the fact that that was the information in some of the documentation, they were like, okay, this person disclosed sensitive information and personal information that belonged to different clients, and therefore they offended the Data Protection Act. So the way that case went is the ODPC kind of refused to fully investigate it. And by the time the case was ending, I think they were out of. There's a period that I think they're required, I don't know if it's 6 months or what, they're required to investigate. They are also out of that time. So they dismissed the case. They were like, fam, no. Kumbuka lawyers have a bandwidth for
pettiness.
They filed a judicial review in the High Court. So a judicial review in my first boss, the guy that trained me, my pupil master, used to say judicial review is the challenge to the decision of a public body. Basically, that's it.
Yeah.
So they filed a judicial review in the High Court, and they go like, look, the ODPC did not investigate the case. They did not fully execute their mandate for this particular case. And what does the High Court say? Yes, you as the ODPC needs to investigate. There's personal data that has been talked about here. There's sensitive data that has been talked about here. We are seeking to demonstrate that this data is personal and private and should have been, yes, should not have been disclosed. So ODPC, go back and redo the case. The challenge with that particular case, I'm just thinking, I can't remember reading the entirety of the judgment, but the challenge with it is, if I attach that affidavit to the claim, then I risk disclosing that information to the public, right? Which then kind of like, gives some mitigation to the employee, but I don't think that's what happened. I'm just speculating. So yeah, it's actually a real issue that is happening. Yes. I don't know how the second challenge in the ODPC office went, but the first one, obviously they dismissed, but the High Court was like,
yes. And so basically, you remember we talked about violation of company policies. So if we have a company policy that says you should not transfer company information out of the company database or servers, and the company finds that you've done it, they can have a legal basis for taking you to court. Yes. So that's why you find a lot of companies don't allow you to access certain servers out of the office. You'll find even nowadays some emails, even the email on your phone, you can't download you can read maybe the content of maybe a PDF that has been sent to you, but you can't download it. Even sometimes you can't screenshot. Yeah, so companies are putting such controls to avoid leaking of company information. So having a data governance framework is very important for your company, because it not only protects personal information of your customers and your vendors and other third parties that you're working with, but it also protects your proprietary company information, okay? And it also makes it clear for you to classify the data within your company. You need to tell your staff, this is confidential information, this is sensitive information, this is public information.
This is public information. This is general. It doesn't matter whether you disclose
or not. You can now share this with whoever. So like the audited financial statements, because a lot of companies publish them
on their websites.
Yes, that is now can be viewed as public data. But the quarterly financials, probably not, because they've not yet been audited or gone through whatever process they're supposed to go through. So having a data governance framework is very important. And it also helps you to define who has access to what data within the organization. Okay? So if, for example, you find that IT have mistakenly given you access to certain folders that you shouldn't have, tell them. Just inform them. Tell them, hey, by the way, I just realized.
Ninaona payroll za watu.
Yes. Rudisha. Hey, that thing for payroll. You know there are companies that have mistakenly sent payroll information to
Other people.
Yes. Or like to the whole company. Ama it's there for bonus. And then you mistakenly reply all. Or you forget something at the printer. Hey.
I think as we come to a close of this episode, a few things that I think employers and employees should remember is, if you're an employee, remember that you have an owing duty, and it's a continuous duty to keep the data privacy of the information of your employer. Same to an employer. The data privacy responsibility is continuous. It doesn't end at termination or at exit.
Yeah.
It continues past your employment. Another thing that we should also remember is employers are basically data controllers and data processors, because you collect employee information. And I remember when we were beginning, Danu said there's suppliers, there's service providers, there's clients, and all this information you get to collect. So remember, you're data controllers and data processors, and therefore the Data Protection Act applies to you. And then the other thing is as a former employee, you still remain the subject to data protection obligations. So don't just go disseminating people's information because you're like, I'm no longer employed there.
Yeah.
You're still affected. And last but not least, from the case of Wama and Ellen, one of the things that we have learned is the ODPC has an active role in enforcing data privacy laws in Kenya. So you might think, oh, because I've left employment, this can't be done to me. Your employer will sue you. Your employee will sue you. So always have that at the back of your mind, right? Any parting shot?
Okay, I think you've covered everything. But as we close, I think number one, it's good to map out your roles and responsibility as HR, your roles and responsibilities as marketing when it comes to data protection. It shouldn't, I know a lot of times we focus on the teams, the client service teams, or the operations teams that are handling client data. But remember that employees' data is also as important and can be sensitive. Yeah.
Good. Thank you for hanging out with us. This was a fun episode.
Very.
It's taken much longer than we think, and that's how you know it's good. Thank you for hanging out with us today. If you've not subscribed, please subscribe. It's the only thing that we are asking you to do. Remember, this is a knowledge platform, and our motto is,
We learn together
and we grow together. And we'd like to keep doing that with you in the future. Share on all your social media platforms, on WhatsApp stories. Cause our WhatsApp stories, please share us with your exes, with your friends, with your lovers, with your enemies, with your HR, with your data protection officer. If you have any comments for us, put for us those comments in the comment section. We love seeing your comments. On my personal handles, I am at Mihala Barasa on LinkedIn, on Instagram, on TikTok, on Facebook, and on X.
I am Danun Yuko on all the platforms that she's mentioned.
And on our Instagram, we are at The Rundown KE. And until we see you next time, bye.